Hey everyone, what's up? Well, today is a very beautiful day today. It is actually 74 degrees right now. So, as you can see, I'm actually wearing short sleeve for the first time this year. So, yeah, it's very nice out. So, I figured I'd take advantage of this nice weather and repair this trimmer here that you guys saw in the Mantis video that I just posted. So, this is a Echo SRM2400. So I cleaned it up a little bit, as you can see. So now it is all nice and clean. And also, too, I got a new guard for it because it didn't come with one originally, and I managed to find the original older style guard, so that was good. And I also put in a brand new Speed Feed 400 head, which is the best trimmer head ever made, in my opinion. So yeah, so now the only thing we have to do with this thing is get it running. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. So first thing I am gonna have to do is replace the primer bulb and fuel lines. So yeah, and also while I'm at it, I'll do a carburetor rebuild. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. So let's get to the bench and let's get started. Alright, so here we are at the bench. So first thing we got to do is pop off the air filter. So that's just a case of untwisting this here, like so. That pulls out, and now we can inspect the air filter. So not too bad, but it could definitely be replaced. However, for the time being, I am going to have to put this back in after, because I don't think I have any of these in stock, so I'm going to have to replace those. So it is what it is. So anyway, the next thing we need to do is remove the air filter assembly here. So that's just a simple case of removing those two screws there. And looks like the camera is out of focus for some reason. Alright, there we go. So now I'm just going to grab my screwdriver and just undo these two screws here. There we go. So one and two. There we go. A little tight. Alright, so that just pulls out like so. Set that off to the side. Alright, so now next thing to do is remove the carburetor. So I'll just raise you guys up a little bit. So just pull off on it like so. Disconnect your throttle cable like that, and it looks like this gasket here did not come off, so I'm not gonna mess with that. And it doesn't look like it's torn or ripped, so I'm gonna go ahead and reuse that. So now just remove the fuel lines. Oh, that one was really loose, so that's not good. And this one, and now this one's really, oh, look at that, I just pulled that fuel line out. That should not be like that. So yeah, that grommet is, if I zoom in on that, as you can see, this grommet is definitely no good. It's actually cracked in some areas that I can see. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but that's not too good. So yeah, I am definitely going to have to replace the grommet assembly as well as the fuel lines. There we go. But as you can see, the carburetor is now off of there. So let's get into that now. Alright, so here's the carburetor. So this is a let's see here. Not sure if you guys can see, but it is a Zama made in China carburetor, and it's a let's see, can you guys see that? It's a C1U series. So what's the model? This is model, looks like, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's K23A, so that's the model number on the carburetor. So whenever you look up parts for these, make sure you type in that number there. And actually, as you can see, the fuel line actually broke off on the nipple there, so I'm gonna have to come in here with the screwdriver and just pop it off. So yeah, those fuel lines were in desperate need of replacing, as you can tell. So anyway, let's just start taking this carburetor apart now. So you can use either a Phillips or a flathead on this. So we'll start out with the pump side here. So just a simple case of undoing these two screws. So one and two. So that comes off, and this cover will pop off like so. And yeah, you can see the there was some old gas left in there. So here's a close-up look inside. So as you can see, there is still some old gas in there, but we got it at a good time because it hasn't hardened or gelled up yet, so that'll be pretty easy to clean off. And then of course here's your needle and lever, so that's working as it should, so that's good. And now let's take a look at our metering diaphragm. So that just pulls off this cover like so. And let's see here. Yeah, you can definitely see this diaphragm is definitely worn out. As you can see, it's really wrinkled, which you do not want. So yeah, it's definitely, but it is still flexible though, but it's definitely on its way out. So yeah, you don't want that. And then if I just separate it from the gasket here, so yeah, you can see the gasket on this is still good. So, but I'm gonna replace it anyway since I have the kit. So yeah, that's definitely, but it's not it's still soft though, so could be a lot worse. But I'm just gonna replace it, like I said, for preventative maintenance. And now we'll remove the primer bulb side here. So you just want to undo these two screws here. You can use either a Phillips or a flat, but in this case I'm using a flat, or a Phillips, I'm sorry. So you can see the screws on there are long, so make sure you keep them separate. And then you can remove the plate here and get rid of that old primer bulb, which, as you can see, is absolutely junk. This is definitely from ethanol in the gas. So yeah. So anyway, now we can remove the primer base like so. So here it is inside, and yeah, you can see there it is definitely dirty in there. Alright, so I just turned on the light on the camera here so you guys can see it better. Yeah, you can see just all the old gas in there. And now we can go ahead and pull off the pump diaphragm and the gasket. So that just pulls off like so. And actually, look at that. It looks like there's that screen is clogged or something, because there's still gas left in there. So yeah, we'll have to clean that out. Primer base, that's good. And now let's take a look at our pump diaphragm. So the pump diaphragm is not terrible, but I am definitely going to replace it. Basically, on these, what you're looking for is these little tabs or lips, whatever you want to call them, is not sticking up or down. You want it to be flush with this here, which, as you can tell, this one still looks alright, but I am going to replace it for preventative maintenance, like I said earlier. So yeah, so our carburetor is now disassembled, so now I'm gonna take all this outside and we'll clean it up. Alright, so I got some carburetor cleaner here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean all this up real good. And also too, I got a glass just to get all of it inside. So basically what you want to do, just kind of spray all this down real good, like so. Yeah, you can see just how dirty this thing really is. Alright, now that I got it cleaned up a little bit, I'm now going to remove the needle and lever. So basically what you want to do is just hold the lever down like so. I'm not sure if you guys can see. And then you want to come in with your screwdriver and just loosen off on that screw like so. And we'll just set it there. And this pulls out like so. And now be careful, because there's a spring there. You don't want to lose that spring. So anyway, just want to pull that out like so, and then pull your needle out like that, and there's your needle. So now we can go ahead and finish cleaning all this up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish all this up real quick before it starts raining, because I can feel it drizzling a little bit. And I gotta love the weathermen sometimes, don't you? So now you just want to spray all these holes, make sure that they're not plugged. So you can see that one's good. So yeah, just really clean all this up real good. And now make sure you wear your safety glasses whenever you spray in these little holes, because as you can see, the carburetor cleaner just likes to shoot right back up and go in your face, so you do have to be mindful of that. And right there is your screen, so you just want to spray all that out. It may look clean, but sometimes it really isn't, so it is very important that that is clean. And get the nozzle on the side there, make sure that's not plugged, which you can see that's not plugged. So there's that. Now I'll go ahead and clean this up too. To just spray inside there. Alright, so just like that, our carburetor is now cleaned. So now I'll take this inside and wipe it off and dry it off. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and come in here with a rag and just kind of just give it a quick wipe off, like so, just to make sure all these parts are really clean. And let's see, how's it? There's that screen inside there. That's good. And we'll just wipe this off too. Make sure that's all nice and clean. Alright, so now the last thing I like to do with these is grab some dust off here, which is just basically canned compressed air, and just basically just kind of go like that. Also to blast inside the little holes. Now, I don't recommend using an air compressor on these 2-stroke carburetors. And if you do, just keep it at a very low setting, because you could damage these, because these are quite fragile. So just keep that in mind. Alright, spray inside there. And I'll just do the same here. Good enough for me. Alright, so now we can get started on rebuilding this carburetor.